November 30th, 2025. It's 8:19 p.m. I'm speaking on when I lived in Rosedale Park on Granville and Eden. Um, when my mom had moved over there in I think this was like August or July of 2006. And one day we was all walking down the street, or this was probably around like September '06. We was walking down Eaton at nighttime. It was this big barbecue party that was going on somewhere on either like Warwick Street or Glastonbury Street or Artesia Street in Eaton. And it was one of them little lamps that was kind of engraved in the grass. Not people throw a party and they had these lit up lamps like around their grass area, around the walkway area and stuff, the sidewalk. This dude that named Baxter we was with took that shit and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that shit, hook shot that shit like 20 feet in the air over the fence, over in these people's backyard, yo. And all you heard was glass shatter, like, shh. I took off running. It was one of them runs that I didn't even say shit. I just ran. I still remember how it happened. I just ran. I walked in the house and just closed the door. I was like, I ain't fuck with y'all niggas, y'all. That was just stupid. Then this dude named Jeff came knocking on the door like a little while afterwards, like, man, they can't, some dudes pulled up on us and jumped out the car on us with guns and shit like that. I'm like, man, get the fuck up, get the fuck off my porch, dog. I said it just like that. Close the door. You know what I'm saying? I remember DJ telling me a story one time about Baxter, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this was true or not. That shit sounded too fucking crazy to be true. He said that they caught him trying to have sex with a damn dog or some shit like that in Willie backyard or in VC backyard or something like that. DJ told me this story, yo, Daquan. You know what I'm saying? But I never followed up on it and knew if it was true or not. I spoke about how my mom had went off on my childhood friend Jock back in like the fall of '06 because Jock went off to Chicago, Illinois at Job Corps, you know what I'm saying, to get his GED. And before he left, he opened up and talked about all the stuff that Baxter was stealing. And he also talked about how Baxter and Jeff went upstairs in the house on Granville and Acacia, because my mom had still owned that house. And they stole some 38 caliber bullets from upstairs up out of there. And then they took the bullets and they threw it in Jock bushes. You know what I'm saying? And my mom had went off on him because he had also told me that all the stuff that got stolen out of your mom jewelry box that got stolen out of your mama room, Cud got it. He actually was referring to the house that was on Granville and Eaton. The house that was in Rosedale Park, because that house got broken in too. So that's what made my mom go off on Jock like that. And that was also what made my mom tell Cud on Thanksgiving Day in 2006, you trained him wrong, because if you trained him right, he would have stole way more stuff up out of that house, because he left all kind of jewelry laying around. I remember she told Willie and them sister Cudis back in the fall of or the winter time of 2006. This was on Thanksgiving Day, yo. This was Thanksgiving Day 2006. So I think this was November 26th, 2006. I think that's when Thanksgiving Day was in '06. I think. So the reason how they even how my mom even said that to her, because my sister was home from Knoxville College, and she told me Baxter was at the court. So I walked up to the basketball court and we fought. He walked up out of the court and walked down Westwood, and then we fought on Westwood Street. And then when we got done fighting, he walked on Granville Street, and then when I walked on Granville Street, and me and him like squared up again. And then we got to arguing with Willie and them family members and stuff like that, because Cud had kicked my mom's car. I remember this, and basically was telling her to get out the car. The reason why she kicked her car, because my mom had basically said, you trained him wrong, you know what I'm saying, because he stole all kind of stuff. She basically said, I know y'all was like stealing from me and stuff like that. All of that had came from Jock, yo, because Jock had told us that before he went off the Job Corps. And I remember telling Willie Pops, we didn't I didn't pull up over here trying to tell him to come outside. We fought on Westwood and he came over here on Granville, and that's the reason why, we was all outside arguing and shit like that. I still remember Lando wasn't even making eye contact with me. He was just standing there like just looking away, like he wasn't even making eye contact with me, yo. I got my hair cut on like Artesian Schoolcraft by this dude. It was a barbershop right around the corner. from where Baxter had stayed at back in the day. Used to stay on the corner of Glastonbury and Schoolcraft. You know what I'm saying? And I was getting my haircut one day, and this sister Ayana and this other girl that was also Ayana's sister walked in there. I forgot her name though. I think she was kind of mentally ill. I'm not. I don't. I think, or she had a speech impediment. Maybe she wasn't mentally ill, but she had a speech impediment, yo. And I remember them coming in the barbershop like, we told you was being too nice. This is before we fought. But I knew that my house got broken into, but this was before we had fought though. And they would just laugh like, we told you was being too nice, because it was one time I had walked with Baxter back to his crib, and then his sisters would not let him in, and then he came back to my crib over on Granville and the Acacia. You know what I'm saying? Because they wouldn't let him in the house. He had a foster moms, you feel me? Um I remember his foster mom telling a story about some dude with light skin, with light brown eyes, with hazel eyes, breaking in his house, like running in their house looking for Baxter, and the other reason why he left was because his Baxter mom started crying and stuff like that. And when she gave the description to him, I kind of sort of laughed. It wasn't funny to hear about that, but when she gave the description, it reminded me of this dude named Sosa that we knew back in the day. I don't know if that was him or not, but based off of the story she told my mom and my mom told me, my mom said that the dude ran up in her house and said, Baxter broke in my house, you know what I'm saying, whatever, whatever. And they was basically saying he wasn't there, and then he ended up leaving. It was one time, and like Christmas break in like December of 2006, I came knocking on the door, but I was coming there to talk to Ayana. Now that was a different time, and the girl who opened up the door was Ayana's older sister. It wasn't the one that I thought was mentally ill. It was another one that I never even seen before. You know what I'm saying? She looked just like Ayana, but I think she was grown. She was like 20-something years old, yo. And I remember knocking on the door. I thought Baxter was in jail, and I was coming in to just knock on the door, holler at Ayana. You know what I'm saying? And he opened he opened up the door, was like, "What you doing here?" And then Ayana's older sister came up to the door, and this is not the one that I thought was mentally ill with the speech impediment. It was this other girl that I never seen before, but she looked just like Ayana, but she was a little bit older. And she was like, "Are you like lost or something? You looking for something?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm kind of lost," and I just left. I didn't tell her who I was and nothing like that, because my mom had told me that he was in jail. They made up lies and said that we all showed up to court and testified against Baxter. I did not show up to court. My sister did not show up to court. Only person that showed up to court was my mom, yo. And my mom told me that he had got like a year in juvenile or a year in jail or something like that. So when I came knocking on that door, I was just coming there to talk to Ayana about some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know that nigga was there. So when I reached back out to my mom and told her about that situation, she was like, "Damn, that's illegal then what they did," because she said she showed up to the court, and the court basically had said that he had got like a year in jail or something like that, or a year in juvenile or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom actually like reached out to the police because our house got broken into like over 10 times or some shit like that. So so look, Thanksgiving Day, me and Baxter had fought, right? By Sunday, my mom had called the police again because she basically said she basically walked up in that station and was like, "Why y'all not doing shit? Like, this kid broke in my house like 10 times. Y'all just sitting back with y'all feet kicked up. I made police reports about this. Why y'all not doing shit?" Not only did our house get broken into, but the door got kicked in, the window got broke. The first time it got broken into, ain't nobody breaking shit because I had showed Baxter how to open up the back door. This is when we first moved into that house on Granville and Eaton in Rosedale Park. And then I put a lock on the back door when me and my sister Alicia used to get out of school, and we used to see that somebody came into that house. Again, this is when my sister Keisha went off to Knoxville College. So it was me and my sister that was going to school. I was going to Southfield Regional Academic Campus. My sister was going to Southfield Latham High. And we would get off work. We would get out of school and then we'll go work at Potbelly Sandwich Works. But we would see that somebody came into the house. So then I put a lock on that door. And then somebody jumped through the window, the bathroom window. Then I put a lock on the bathroom window. And then after I put a lock on the bathroom window, they broke into my sister back window, my sister Alicia back window room. They broke the glass. And then we put tape up on that. And then they just said, "Fuck it." They just kicked the door in and then trashed the whole house and went through that shit. They broke in the house at least like 10 different times, yo. So my mom went in that police station and went off on them by Sunday. And then after the police that came on Granville and basically arrested Baxter, somebody shot out the back patio window that was next to my room door because my room had a back door to it. And the living room had a back door to it, but also my room had a back door to it. And it went to the patio. And somebody shot through that back patio window with a shotgun. Man, look, TJ and Jeff had hit a lick on this dude named Taco back in the day. Taco had stayed next door to this this house that this dude named Ryan used to stay in back in the day. Taco was this short Mexican dude. And they stole a shotgun up out of Taco house, yo. So I remember TJ halfway cocking that gun and showing me the bullets in the showing me the shotgun shell. It was a clear see-through shotgun shell. So when the patio got shot out, I was looking around for the shell. I found the shell and it was a see-through clear shotgun shell. So ever since that day, I was like, okay, either it was TJ that did it or it was somebody that TJ let somebody see that gun. You know what I'm saying? This is all in 06. This is on Sunday, yo. The Sunday right after Thanksgiving. You know, the back patio window got shot out. Then the police came, and I still remember when I opened up the door and walked in the patio, the glass had shattered. All the glass had fell down because it was like frozen at first. And all the glass fell down when I opened up the door because you know how the air and the oxygen get sucks in and all of that. So the bullet went through the patio, somebody put the barrel of the gun up close to the window because it was a small hole on the entrance side, and then it was just a big ass shattered motherfucking broken glass all over on the other side of the patio though, yo. I was in my sister Alicia room talking to her about this girl at Southfield Latham High, yo, one of her friends or something like that. And we heard boom. And my sister screamed because she's like, that was a gunshot. I still remember all of this shit. It was a rumor going around that Baxter had jumped on some senior citizen around that area, around Schoolcraft or around Rosedale Park. Because he was breaking the houses. Dog, can't none of the niggas I hung out with said that I ever broke in somebody's house, yo. That shit wasn't me. I never broke in somebody's house, ever, in my life. I never went in somebody's house and then stole some shit, then jumped up out of a window or some shit like that, yo. It was a rumor going around that Baxter, some older lady had caught Baxter in her house and he jumped on her because he got caught. So when I heard rumors about some dude with like hazel eyes or something like that running up in their mom's house on Schoolcraft in Glastonbury, the first person that came to mind was the only dude in our neighborhood that had hazel eyes, yo. And that dude used to be crazy about his mom. Every man should be crazy about his mom as far as how loving he is toward her. I still remember his mom used to come up to the court and basically be telling him like, yeah, it's time to eat and stuff like that. This dude named Sosa we all knew back in the day. So I was in shock when he told me that his mom had passed away in like 2000. I think this is in like 2012, yo. We got on the subject of cancer and stuff like that. And I remember talking to him about cancer. And I told him I had a cancer scare and I had to go back and get a checkup and stuff like that. I still remember all of this, yo. But I remember him telling me like, yeah, she had passed away from cancer or something like that. So the point that I'm making is, I thought that Baxter had jumped on his mom, yo. I thought he broke in his house and jumped on his mom. But I never, got word from the hood because I stopped hanging out like that around that area. To be honest, I don't know if that was true or not because I truly believe if that was Baxter that jumped on Sosa mom back in the day, I think it would have been a wrap, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because I was kind of, I knew he was younger than us, yo. He used to hang out with Shay Shay and Moo Moo. Marche and Marquise. We used to call him Shay Shay and Moo Moo back in the day. That was a dude named Mike. He had two little brothers named Marche and Marquise. You know what I'm saying? We called him Shay Shay and Moo Moo. They used to hang out with that nigga a lot. So, when I heard that he jumped on some old lady, I was like, yeah, yo, I was like, this nigga wild. And I was like, if he don't end up going to jail, somebody go end up doing something to him. I remember saying that in 06. I remember being at Potbelly Sandwich where I was talking to this dude named Harlan about it. Harlan had a brother named Marcus. You know what I'm saying? David Harlan, yo. That nigga name was David, I believe. He had a brother named Marcus, and Marcus was cool with a whole bunch of niggas that I had knew. around that area. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole bunch of niggas that I had knew just around like SRAC, Southfield Regional Academic Campus, and Southfield Latham and shit like that. Like he was cool with some of the same niggas that I used to hang out with. And I remember being on the phone with my mom while she telling me somebody broke in the house, and I was at Potbelly Sandwich Works, and me and this nigga Harlan is talking to each other. He's right in front of me while I'm on the phone with my mom talking about this shit, yo. I remember this shit. And I remember asking my mom, did he get that gun? And she was like, no. They broke in the house like 10 times. Trashed that. The last time they broke into it, they trashed that motherfucker. We had to call the police because all of the beds was flipped upside down. The fucking mattresses was flipped upside down. My mom room was trash. My sister room was trash. My room was trash. Every single room in that house that had a mattress was flipped up. The couches was flipped up and shit like that. The whole house was trash. And my mom told me, more than one person came into this house. She told me that. I remember October 2017. My cousin Donnie Smith, my cousin DJ died, and I took a flight to go to his funeral. Me, my sister Keisha, and my sister Alicia, and my mom came back to Michigan for that funeral. Me and my mom was living in Fort Myers, Florida at the time, or I was living in Fort Myers, Florida. My mom was living in Cape Coral, Florida. Keisha and Alicia was living in Tallahassee, Florida at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I went to go get some Coney Island on Schoolcraft in Westwood. I got this one girl number that was like real thick. I got her number just because she was thick, but come to find out, she did hair, and she had a husband. So I completely stopped all of the flirtation stuff and just came and got my hair twisted by her. And we up in there, and so she stayed on West Chicago and Greenfield. Those was the main street intersections. But I think it was like West Chicago and Press, or I know it was between Hubble and Greenfield on West Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I pulled up, got my hair twisted by her. She did hair, and her husband also did hair. You know, she told me that was her husband. She hit me up the next day right after I gave her some money. I gave her some money, then I cashed up to the rest, and then she hit me up like asking me like if I could like meet up and give her the money again. And I ain't even gonna lie, I thought that she was trying to give me an indication that she was trying to like give me some, like have sex with me, because I was like, I already gave you the money, yo, like you know that. And I thought that she was low key trying to like give me a hint, but I never followed up on it. That was who was twisting my hair. We had all took a family picture, and I was like on one knee, you know what I'm saying, taking a picture at the repast and all of that. You know what I'm saying? That one lady, I forgot her name, but she was the one that twisted my hair. It was this lady she was caramel skin, she was kind of short, she was thick, but I never did anything with her, you know what I'm saying? Once I saw that she was married, I left her alone. I still remember her and her husband playing that Usher and Wale song, and they was basically saying that was their wedding song. You know what I'm saying? I still remember this shit. She told me that she had a brother that was walking through the alley on Schoolcraft between Granville and Westwood and got killed, yo. She said she had a brother that got killed walking through the alley on Schoolcraft and Westwood. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, that's fucked up. And I don't know exactly when it happened, but I told her, like, I was just visiting. I came from Florida, but when she told me it was around that area, I was like, yeah, that's my old hood over there. And I was like, I'm not really surprised to hear that, because there used to be crazy stuff going on in that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I still remember her telling me this story, yo. But again, in 2006, when that dude Baxter had got arrested, because by Sunday, my mom, he basically kept breaking in people's houses back in the day, then going to the basketball court like it wasn't nothing. And I still remember my brother arguing with Willie and them pops, because Willie and them pops was basically saying he be over here playing with my son. My brother Scooter was like, he was like, what is Baxter doing over here? What was he doing over here? And he was like, what do we be doing over here? He don't be in school, so what he be doing? At the time I was 16, so Baxter was like 15. And my brother was basically arguing with Willie and them pops. He was like, what do he be doing? And then I remember Willie Pops was like, he be over here playing with my son. And Scooter's like, your son 18 years old. Your son a grown man. He ain't over here playing. They not kids. They're not playing. They hitting licks. I still remember that because I started laughing when Scooter said that. Scooter's like, your son a grown ass man. They ain't over here playing. He like, that nigga, they be hitting licks. And I remember Scooter asking Willie and them pops, what would you do if Baxter broke in your house? And I still vividly remember Willie Brown Sr. saying, if Baxter broke in my house, he wouldn't live to tell about it. And we was like, okay, well, what y'all defending him for? Why y'all like acting that way about all this other stuff for? Again, my sister Keisha had a grandma named Hilda, yo. Hilda France. She gave my mom a ring that her mother or her grandmother gave her. I don't know which one. She gave it to Keisha originally, but my mom was holding on to it to keep it in the safe place. You know what I'm saying? And when Baxter was breaking in our house, that ring came up missing. My mom hit redial on a cordless phone in the living room on Granville and Eaton in Rosedale Park after our house got broken into. This is in 2006, the fall of '06. This probably like September, October 2006. We just started back going to school. I was going to Southfield Regional Academic Campus. Alicia was going to Southfield Lathrop High. And my mom hit redial and Cut number showed up. Willie and them sister named Cut. Her number showed up on the call ID. So Keisha vouched for that. Keisha the one that told us that's Cut number. I think her name was Katrina or something like that, or Kanisha or something like that. But everybody in the hood called her Cub. So we went down and sat in their living room or dining room / kitchen area in their house. You know what I'm saying? We sat down in Willie and them house. And it was me, Alicia, my mom, TJ, Willie, Baxter, Willie Pops, and Willie Moms. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was telling TJ, I think it was you. I think you had something to do with it too. And TJ like, I ain't had nothing to do with it. TJ called my phone after we left from there because my mom was like, all I want is, let me just rewind right quick. While we was in there talking to them, you know what I'm saying, having a mature conversation, my mom was like, all I want is that ring back. You can't get $5 for that ring. It's not worth anything. You know what I'm saying? She said all she wanted was that ring. I think it was like a moon ring or something like that. That Keisha grandmother Hilda France that gave Keisha. Then my mom was basically keeping it in her jewelry box though. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, my mom said she didn't want anything back. She just want that ring. Because whoever broke into that house called up Cut number. Because after our house got broken into, my mom just hit redial. And something just told her to hit redial and Cut's cell phone number showed up. So my mom was like, that's all I want back. And they were just like, we ain't got that. So then we end up leaving. Me and Alicia left. I still remember Alicia talking about reaching out to this dude named Day Day and Kevin, and also this dude named Byron that she knew was talking about doing something to him. And I was like, no, you ain't got. I was telling Alicia like, you ain't even got to do that. And I ain't even gonna lie. Back in this day, VC and them and Carmen and them, they had Marcus was like VC brother. Marcus was basically telling me, man, just let me park around the corner. Park around the corner if you want to get back. If you want to get Baxter back, let me just park around the corner, nigga. We'll handle this. I was like, nah, bro, don't even do that. I was like, don't even do it. I took my cousin Deshaun King advice and said, I'm not even gonna do that. My cousin Deshaun, my cousin Shamar. Around this time, Shamar had came from South Carolina and visited my dad, and my cousin Shamar and my dad had put tape up on Alicia's bedroom window, yo. Right after they broke the fucking glass on it. We was working at Potbelly at this time, yo. I remember Shamar roasted me because I had got both of my ears pierced and shit like that. And I kept talking about like, yeah, I'm gonna get 2 diamond earrings like Allen Iverson once my ears like finally get like the right way. But I had some fake ass earrings and them bitches made little mini keloids growing in the back of my ear. You know what I'm saying? I used to have both of my ears pierced. I remember Shamar coming up in the Potbelly and roasting me on my ears, like talking about like, nigga, what the fuck you got your ears pierced for? Who you trying to be like? I'm gonna get 2 big ass diamonds like AI, nigga. This is in '06. Me and my sister was working at Potbelly Sandwich Works at this time, yo. So Deshaun told me leave it alone, don't even do nothing, and that's what made me tell Marcus, no man, never mind, because it was certain niggas talking about like parking around the corner and getting Baxter back, yo, like setting like actually waiting for him, type shit. My Aunt Janie had like a Ford 500, I think. I don't even think they make them no more. A Ford 300, I forgot, or a Ford 400, I forgot what they called. It was an all black sedan. My cousin Deshaun had bought her. One day she came to pick up me and my sister, and this was the same exact day my mom went up to the court and she was swinging on Baxter Hendricks, dog. That was his last name, Hendricks, because Our house got broken into so many times. One day she was driving down the street and she just got pissed off, and she put up to the court like, "Why the fuck do you keep coming breaking in our shit? Why do you keep breaking in our house?" And Miss Carmen, my mom told me that Miss Carmen had to tell TJ don't get into it because TJ was walking outside like he was about to swing on my mom's. I remember this. I remember driving down the street on Granville, dog. I remember driving down the street and I drove past TJ, dark skinned Kevin. We all called him Kevo, and Baxter. And I remember driving past them and looking in the rearview mirror, and TJ started jumping up and down like Ali when we drove past, because I was in my auntie Janie car. I was in my aunt Janie car. Yo, she had an all black Ford that my cousin Deshaun had bought her. This is all in the fall of 2006, yo. I pulled up at the corner store. I asked Aunt Jenny to stop at the corner store, and I saw Jasmine and Jesse outside with their friend Tiffany. And I told Jasmine and Jesse, take my number down, call my number up if something happened. And what made me get out at the corner store and tell them call me up if something happened, because again, we was driving down Granville from Eaton. I didn't even tell Aunt Janie that my mom just cussed out the dude Baxter and tried to swing on him at the basketball court. I didn't even tell her that all the stuff that was going on. You know what I'm saying? So me and my sister Alicia just got off of work, and we on our way to go to my dad's house, and we with my Aunt Janie. And I think this around the same exact time that Shamar came to visit. I think so. And again, as soon as my Aunt Janie passed occasion, I saw Baxter, dark-skinned Kevin, and TJ walking with each other in the group. And we drove past. They didn't even recognize me because they never seen that car before. Because my Aunt Janie didn't come over there normally with that car. That was her first time coming over there in that car. You know what I'm saying? And I just looked at them. They looked at me, and then I saw TJ like start jumping up and down like a boxer when I drove past. And I was like, yeah, man. So by the time we got to the corner of Schoolcraft in Granville, I got out the car at the corner store, and I was like, hey, Jasmine, take my number down. Call me up if something happened, if you hear about anything. Jasmine was Jock Little's sister, yo. Jasmine Davis, that was Jock Little's sister. I told Jasmine, her little sister Jessie, that's also Jock Little's sister, and Tiffany, which was one of their main homegirls, to basically take my number down and let me know if anything happened. Because my mom told me that Miss Carmen had to tell TJ not to get into it when my mom was arguing and swinging on him at the basketball court, yo. So I was like, what the fuck? When I heard, when the way it was explained to me, it was like one of them was going to actually try to swing on my mom's. So that was the reason why I did it like that. Yep. But I remember Marcus telling me like, yeah, man, we can do this and do that. I was like, no, man, I didn't even go do it. I took Sean's advice. Deshaun King. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun King, Aunt Janie's son, said, don't even worry about it, AJ. Don't even get involved. Don't even do nothing. And that's what made me say I'm not going to do anything about it. And it made me even more pissed off when I told my dad, I said, putting this tape up on his window ain't gonna do shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember talking to him. I didn't cuss, but I was like, this ain't gonna do nothing, because they probably just gonna feel like they gonna do something anyway. And he was like, what are you gonna do about it, Alvin? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me even want to fight even more, yo. That's what made me want to fight him even more, because my pops was telling me, you ain't gonna do nothing. I didn't know if he was telling me not to do nothing, but the way I took it, I was like, oh, okay. Man, look, I remember DJ told me that Baxter got caught trying to have sex with a damn dog or some actual animal like a dog. I didn't believe that shit. I think they said that he got caught trying to do something with a dog in Willie backyard or some shit, or the VC backyard or some shit like that. I didn't believe that shit. I don't even think Willie had a dog around that time. I think it was VC backyard or some shit like that. And I never followed up on it. But they certain lies got told on us, because my mom showed up to court in 06. And I remember Lando hitting me up in like January of 2007. And he was like, hey man, that shit crazy. I heard y'all showed up to Baxter is testifying against him in court. I was like, hell no, ain't nobody show up and testify against that nigga in court. I was like, I wanted to go. I was trying to go because I wanted to make sure wasn't no bullshit like going on, man. Everything that happened in that hood, you knew about it. Everything. So I spoke about that dude Baxter grabbing that big ass lamp and then hook shot in that shit over in somebody's backyard back in like August or September of 2006. And I just took off running and went in the house. I ain't y'all. You know how your adrenaline be pumping so fast, you just get, you know how you get so mad, you don't even say shit, you just go silent. It was like when that nigga, I swear, when I saw that nigga grab that shit and throw that shit in the air, I just went silent. And I just ran to the crib. I was like, man, fuck y'all. I'm in the house. I'm in the crib, bro. No, go on with that bullshit. I was like, y'all, I ain't fuck with y'all niggas. That shit was, it was no reason to do that. This nigga grabbed like a big ass, long ass, it was like a lamp. It had like a, it had a stand that it was sitting in. It was made of glass and like metal. He grabbed that bitch out the motherfucking stand and hook shot that shit, threw that shit all the way over in somebody's backyard. It was like a big party going on that night. It was probably, he did probably around like 8 or 9 p.m. or something like that. And all you heard was glass breaking. And I just ran, yo. Jeff came knocking on the door like 10 minutes later, like, hey, man, you know they jumped, you know some niggas pulled up on us and jumped out the cars on us with the mag, nigga, jumped out the cars on us with the burners and the guns, like, hey, nigga, y'all niggas did this and that, this and that. I was like, man, get the fuck off my porch with that bullshit, yo. I still remember this. I still remember this shit. So I don't know what kind of fucking lie was told. I never had sex with Baxter's sister, Ayana. I never had sex with any of his sisters. The one that I thought that was kind of slow, partially slow, I never had sex with her. And Ayana had an older sister. I think she was like 20 years old back in 06. I don't know. I just know that she was older than her, but they looked just alike. I never did anything with them. But one day I did come up to that house on Glastonbury and Schoolcraft in December of 2006. And Baxter opened up the door. And then Ayana's older sister came to the door. Not the one that I thought that was partially slow, that had like a speech impediment, but it was the other one that I never seen before. But I could just tell that they was related because she was older than Ayana, but she looked just like her. And she was just like, are you looking for Baxter? Like, what you doing? And I remember they used to call Baxter Dookie. That was his nickname. You know, Ayana used to call him Dookie. So, one time, Takese, this was around the same time me and Baxter fought. Takese had came to spend some time with Keisha. She had something going on with her crib or something like that. This is back in the fall of 06. Takese Harris, that was Keisha like main friend. They went to St. Christina Gymnasium with each other in 5th and 6th and 7th grade. You know what I'm saying? From 1999 to 2001. And right after me and Baxter fought, Takese came by. And I remember I was asking Keisha to drop me off at that house on that particular day, but she didn't. I told, as soon as I got on Glastonbury and Schoolcraft, I was like, no, Keisha, just turn around. I never had sex with Ayana, but I was contemplating that shit. You feel me? I never did. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, Baxter called me up later on that day, like, AJ, why you come over here? I was like, because I wanted to. He was like, you trying to be funny? I'm like, nah, nigga, I trying to holler at your sister, to be honest. I thought you was in jail. And he was like, nah, nigga, I been got out. Don't come around here. I was like, don't come around here, nigga. He hung up, was like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So I know that me being on this walk with God, a real messed up scandalous lie been told. And people chose to basically keep me out. This shit was 20 fucking years ago, 19 years ago. But I know that a real fucked up lie was told on me, yo. And nobody chose to come and talk to me directly. They chose to take some shit that somebody else told them and run with it. It is the most fucked up, shocking, rude, disrespectful act of bitterness and it's just a cowardly move to go to hack my YouTube and block my phone away from actually being able to speak up and talk about what I'm going through. Because in the process of me being trapped by whoever's in this brotherhood, Masons, Eastern Stars, and a lot of people in my old neighborhood is Bloods and Crips now. A lot of them joined the Bloods, to join the Crips, join the folks. A lot of them did that, yo. That was the reason why a lot of foul shit was going on in LA, because they basically said, okay, we connected to y'all. We affiliated with y'all now. We cool with y'all now. That's the reason why a lot of shit was going on the way it was going on. It ain't like some lady or some man just heard a fucked up ass story about me and ran with it. No, they heard that somebody else was in the same exact gang as they nephews. A lot of people that was in the gang in the 80s and the 90s, they got kids and grandkids now. So all a whole lot of people did was reach out to people in another state that's in their same gang And then they gave them a whole overview, a whole description, a whole autobiography of my life, and added in their own falsified motherfucking input, like jot their little footnotes, or certain lies and stuff like that. That's the truth. The way I think though, how observant I am, I know for a fact, for everybody to sit back and just watch all that bullshit happen though, and watch me go through all that fucked up shit, that means people that was in like with a higher like position said, hey, we gonna let y'all have your fun with this nigga. Cause it ain't like I was being attacked by millionaires. I was at a fucking shelter, yo. And people expect me to just be stupid. They thought they could insult my intelligence. I know my mom don't look the same. I know my sister don't look the same. I know clones exist. So in my mind, I went from basically saying, okay, I'm gonna keep my distance from certain people and all that, to begging at God to keep my mom and my sister safe, healthy, and alive, protected from evil and danger, delivered from evil and danger, praying for that all day, every day. Because I had dreams and visions of them. And these dreams and visions completely contradict those pictures that I seen that my sister sent me in October 2024. That's obviously Photoshop. And I could look at the picture, even the Instagram picture, and say, yo, that shit look Photoshop. So I know something not right, but the fact that people see that I'm not a part of this secret society, they said, okay, we can assault this man's intelligence. And then people look at me like I did something wrong when I speak on this type of shit, but I never did anything to anybody to begin with. I wasn't fucking with anybody, nor was my family. I spoke about the dysfunctional times that I had with my family, the arguments that I had with them, the ups and downs that I had with them. That ain't nobody else motherfucking business when it come to people actually trying to bring some physical damage. That's why I made videos in the past saying, look, they're still my peoples and still my family. Like, if I'm not bringing no harm to them, don't do that. But other people added on lies on top of a whole bunch of other stuff that happened in the past. So I don't know what lady is making up some scandalous lie, but I'm gonna say this again. A lot of people that live in LA or live in Cali in the 80s or in the 90s, a lot of them was in the gang, yo. When they was in their when they was in their youth years, a lot of them was in the gang. They got older, they got kids and grandkids that's in the gang, yo. It's like a culture there. It's not necessarily just like, just somebody in the gang. It's like a culture there. So a lot of people in my old neighborhood join shit, and then they just made up lies. And we all know the main reason being for all of this shit is money. It's people paying them. It's people paying people to make up lies. It's people saying, I'll give you X amount of dollars if you lie on this nigga. That's the fucking truth, yo. Shit. Going through the same bullshit that a nigga went through when he was a fucking teenager. So I don't give a fuck what people say, man, you can't harp on the past, don't harp on the past, don't live in the past. I don't live in the past. But look at the shit that I've been through throughout my life. Look at all the bullshit that I've been through. Come on, man. The fuck is you talking about? If people repeating the same exact fucked up ass psychological tactics every fucking year, every single year, they do the same exact thing. Oh, I heard that nigga AJ stole back in the day. Okay, let's stage somebody and act. Hey, tell that nigga to act like he's upset. Tell that man over there to act like he's upset about his stuff getting stolen. And then we gonna have somebody come forth and say that it was AJ that stole from him. Think about how much of a childish ass bitch move that is for somebody to actually come forth and lie on me. And then when I ask directly if somebody has lied on me, the same person that made up a lie about me tells me right to my face, no, man, nobody say anything about you stealing. And it be some nigga from my old area or just my old city bumping elbows like, ha ha ha, yeah. But if y'all complete this, we'll get a couple thousand. So people has always attacked my weakness. They said, okay, he going through some hard times with his family. Let's get in where we fit in. We go lie on him. We gonna make him look like shit, and then we go basically make it look like it's his family fucking with him. So I was going through all this trauma, all this fucked up ass paranoia, all this fucked up shit when I was in Cali. And people try to make it look like that it was my family doing it to me, yo. They try to make it look like that it was a whole bunch of other people shitting on me. So I started cussing out family members saying, no, don't come around where I'm at. Don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I truly believe family members of mine got reeled out in California. And I was on the phone with them telling them, don't come around where I'm at. It was other people hacking that phone, recording that phone, and then publicizing that conversation to other people trying to make me look like a dishonorable ass, dysfunctional ass, hoe ass son or a hoe ass brother in some type of a fucked up way. They played a mind game on me, yo. And everybody that's in some gang know exactly what the fuck happened. They just chose to keep it a secret because they're in the same clique. So with all this crazy stuff going on in this world, Joe, all this crazy shit, what makes somebody say, okay, that guy over there, we gonna let y'all tell this petty lie on him. We gonna tell the police to neglect him. We gonna tell everybody, man, I'm not running around trying to make police reports for fucking recreation. That shit ain't fun to me. But when I realized the same exact shit is ongoing and happening, I said, okay, I'm gonna make this report right here. I'm gonna reach out and make this report right here. If don't nothing happen, cool. That means nobody did anything. But the fact that I realized family members of mine don't look the same, the fact that I realized I got missed voicemails from my family that they sent out in October 2024 and they didn't register to my phone until November 2024, that means somebody got an all-time hack, 24/7 hack on my fucking phone. The fact that I'm looking at pictures and they look Photoshop, the fact that I've had certain dreams and visions of my mom and sisters asking me for help in California. I'm part of the 144,000 Israelites. God be talking to me spiritually. I know something not right. The people that work for these jobs is gonna say it's all good. The people who is in this world that's basically trying to maintain a certain amount of people to look a certain way and think a certain way and act a certain way, they gonna say it's good. But I said before, if God talking to me with visions and stuff, God is not gonna take a rain check and say, okay, well, he's God, but he gonna let this other person come forth and lie on me and then lie to me and then trick me and make me believe something that's not true. God don't move like that. God not about to say, okay, well, even though I'm God, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and trick this man and lie on him. So it's people that's moving in a secretive way, and God see everything that they doing. And it's too much for me to handle. I'm just one man. That's why I'm grateful that God see all of this, because people think they getting away with this and they not. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen in the future. How the fuck do a big ass fucking story get told on me? A big ass fucking autobiography gets served to somebody else about me, and I don't even be around to hear the fucking details of it. My whole phone is blocked the fuck away. So while there's somebody blocking my phone away, possibly my family blocking my phone away, or somebody that's working at one of these Verizon stores blocking my phone away that's affiliated with some brotherhood or some gang blocking my phone away, or it's somebody who just worked for a technology company or something blocking my phone away, you making it worse for other people that I'm related to. Because this is the story of my life. People sit back, they observe my weakness. They see that, okay, he's a loving God toward his family. So they'll try me. They'll try to start some shit with me. And when they don't get a fight out of me because I walk away and choose to be the bigger man, and I walk away and choose to mature myself and walk away in a humble way, they say, okay, who is girlfriend? Then they start talking to ladies that I used to talk to. They start talking to ladies that I used to fuck back in the day. Or they just attack some woman in my family. They'll send her messages and DMs and shit like that. June 29th, I realized I had sperm in my boxer shorts, made a report to the police. June 29th, 2025, this happened. October 2nd, 2025. Realized I had sperm in my boxer shorts, went to the police. If ain't nothing happened, if didn't nobody try to take my sperm and give it to some lady, or even worse, give it to some girl that's under the age of 18, then cool. But I'm gonna make this report just to stay on the safe side. When I was in California, I tried to and they ignored me. I went to the doctor and I said, I think somebody assaulted me in my sleep. They ignored me, yo. Or they neglected me, put it like that. Now you expect me to not be observant of that situation and not also say, okay, they a part of something too. You expect me to not say that to myself? Why am I gonna maintain a secret to help you keep on trying to fuck my life up? I remember my sister used to be cool with these girls named Lauren and Renee that stayed on the corner of Word. They was twins, these two light-skinned girls, yo. I think they went to Cass Tech back in the day. I never did anything with them, but it was weird and ironic. When I went off to that Carnival cruise ship in 2012, I ran into one of the twins at Foot Locker. You know what I'm saying? I was buying some all whites then, and I told her I was going to the Carnival cruise ship. And I told her, she asked me, like, how your sister been? I'm like, yeah, she been good, whatever, whatever. I never got her number though, but she worked at the Foot Locker. I remember this. I remember which one it was. I don't know if it was Lauren or Renee. Um, this dude named Bullet was talking to one of them back in the day, in like the summer of '06 or some shit like that though. So, um, again, when I went on that cruise ship, I remember on the very last day on the cruise ship, this girl from Brooklyn tried to fight me, yo. I was with a whole bunch of Jamaican girls. I was like 5 Jamaican girls, but they lived in Fort Lauderdale. I remember this. And there was some girl standing outside that was drunk by the elevator, standing outside the elevator with her homegirl. It was this caramel skin girl, though, and she was like a little bit shorter than me, caramel skin. And there was this short, skinny, dark skinned chick with her. And I got up the elevator, and that girl was out there cussing about something, and I was just like, yeah, I feel you. And she was like, don't fuck with me. I ain't playing today. I'll slap the shit out of you and them bitches that you with. And I was like, and I basically hold my arm, extending my arm out, trying to push all of them down the hallway. I got both of my arms extended out in the hallway, walking toward the ladies like, come on, y'all, let's just go to the room. Let's just go to the room. My cousin Shamar Kelvin was in the room. She bends the corner, and she was like, y'all got something to say? And they talking to her like, no, we're not trying to fight you, yo. We're not trying to fight you. And then she came up to me and started doing like this, pushing my fucking forehead. The girl that was from Brooklyn. Then the skinny chick walked up. I thought she was going to defuse the situation. She started putting her hand in my face too, like, nigga, this shit your fault, nigga. Fuck you, nigga, this shit your fault, this and that, this and that. So I told her girl, I was like, look, I'm not about to just keep on letting you putting your hands on me. Then, like, that shit caught me off guard. So the Jamaican girls started holding me back. They started holding me back. And I remember like holding my hand out, kind of sort of like reaching for her, and I ain't really like grasp onto her or whatever. I think her weave like got I think her hair got tangled up in like something. It was something either on her purse or something happened. I remember her hair getting tangled up in some type of way or something like that. And they told me that I had to go downstairs and sit down around like the lobby area, wait for them to basically watch the video footage on the Carnival cruise ship and see what happened. And then they came back and the dude had his arm around my shoulder like, hey man, you all right, man? He was laughing after that because he realized that I was just with those ladies, and he the way he took it, the way he basically like comprehended all that whole scenery after watching the video was, okay, he was with those ladies and old girl just got mad and jealous and tried to fight him. He thought that I had sex with old girl. I didn't. Even the Jamaican girls thought that I had sex with that girl. I didn't. I didn't have sex with anybody when I was on that cruise ship, yo. The fact that it's always a brand new login told me, but it's the same exact fucking plot. It's the same exact subject. It's the same exact altercation. That tells me that it's something satanic going on. It's somebody that's offered to some type of a fucked up ass satanic worship. And people that do this shit, they believe that destiny transfers exist, meaning people feel like they can steal what God has meant for you. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to rob you of what you're meant to have. And they gonna say, okay, this is the process. We gonna lie on him, we gonna frame him, we gonna reach out to other police officers that's in this stuff. And we just gonna tell them to stay on standby just in case he reach out and say something scandalous happened. You know what I mean? Man, look. My mom, my sisters, my brother, my uncles, aunties, cousins. I got love for my whole family, my nieces, everybody, yo. Everybody. But at one time, I felt like it was a lot of people hacking in my phone and I didn't know where it was coming from. So I just reached out and said, okay, my phone is being hacked by these people. And I thought it was certain relatives that was hacking my phone. So people tried to make it look like that I was a sellout when they saw that I was doing that. And the people that were trying to make me look like a sellout, it wasn't family members. It was people who didn't fucking know me at all. So they tried to make me look like a sellout first. That way they tried to keep other people away from me. And then after they did that, they made up brand new lies on me. That's what the fuck happened. That's what keep on happening. And at first I wasn't doing that, but it was times when I was in St. George, South Carolina, I heard certain conversations that was held certain family members of mine went into the police station and was talking to the police and made a mistake and pocket dialed my phone. And I was like, oh shit, I can't. No, yo, I can't. I actually heard them giving the police my driver license plate number, my driver license number, all of this. This was in July 2022 when I heard this recording. So by December 2022, I was like, man, that's it, yo. I'm not doing this. Hell no, I'm not doing this. So that's when I started reaching out and making reports and stuff. But the last final straw was when some girl sent me a picture of her breast on Snapchat. As soon as I got back on Snapchat, some girl sent me a picture of her breast. She's looking in the mirror with a robe on, and she got her titties out. She got her breast out. I don't even feel right saying titties because she looked underage in the face. And I reported it to the child exploitation website. So when I realized my phone was getting hacked all over South Carolina, when I came back to Michigan for them 2 weeks, late June 2024 to July 12, 2024, my phone was getting hacked. When I moved to California, from July 12, 2024, all the way to June 10, 2025, my phone was constantly getting hacked. So I reached out and said, listen, it's people hacking my phone, trying to make it look like I'm socializing with minors, teenagers, and it's people also putting stuff in my food, trying to drug my food, and trying to wait till I go unconscious and get me to ejaculate sperm in some type of way and take my sperm and give it to a teenager. So any man that would actually do that to his own niece, his own daughter or granddaughter, you know what I'm saying? That's a real bitch ass man right there, yo. For real. Because that means he's sacrificing his own daughter to do something like that. Just because he's relying on some type of a financial opportunity in the future because he know I'm part of the 144,000 Israelites. He know that I'm working on a business that I've been working on since I was 18. And they feel like it's a possibility I'm destined for some type of financial greatness in the future. So that person said, okay, he don't even care about his own daughter, or he don't care about his own niece, or he don't care about his own goddaughter, or he don't care about his own sister, or he don't care about his own auntie, or whoever that girl is to him. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I got a lot of videos that I've uploaded and I've spoken on how I was driving down the street and somebody just slammed on brakes in front of me. And I'll make a video right after that like, listen, I'm driving down Grand River going toward Telegraph Way. Some dude just beeped his horn at me for no reason. I'm uploading this video right now so some dude don't jump on Snapchat and say, oh, that man almost hit me. And then he would actually tell some sob story, some lying-ass sob story to basically try to get somebody else to sympathize with him and say, oh, he did that. Oh, fuck that. Oh, hell no, I ain't having that shit. Fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Try to make me like a reckless ass driver. This is why I got videos talking about car accidents I witnessed in like January, February, or March. This was either January, February, or March of like 2006 when I saw some lady smack into a car and her car flew in the air and she got ejected from the car. And then after she got ejected from the car, I called the police and pulled up in the parking lot right over there on MLK and Fowler Street. It was an Advanced Auto Parts or a Raleigh Auto Parts or an AutoZone or something like that. And this lady was in shock. She was walking around humming and singing to herself, and she didn't have a broken bone on her body. She was just bleeding from her head because she had a bunch of glass in her hair because when she got ejected from her driver's car, you know what I'm saying, she got tossed in the grass over on the side of the building of that auto parts store. Her car looked like a balled up piece of metal. You couldn't even make up what the fucking car, what kind of car it was. The back seat was on fire. I was on the phone with 911 telling them I don't even think anybody else was in the car. And they was telling me to tell them how she was breathing. And I'm like, they said count every time she breathed. I'm like, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That lady was walking around humming to herself. The firefighters pulled up and looked at that lady like they was in shock because they refused to believe that lady was driving. I was at a red light I pulled up out of the 7-Eleven. Pulled up at a red light. You know what I'm saying? I'm in traffic. Soon as you pull up out of the 7-Eleven that's on MLK and Fowler Street, right around MLK and Fowler, you got no choice but to make a right turn because it's a one way. The only way you could turn around is you got to pull up around that island area, then bust a U-turn. I'm at a red light. I see somebody fly across MLK going down Fowler. They drove perfectly in between these two cars that was literally behind each other at a red light across the street. She drove perfectly between them two cars. Ran up and hit a parked car in the parking lot. The parked car that she hit flew in the air, then came down on the power lines. It was a white car. And then at the same time, her car like flipped like a motherfucker, did like a 360 or some shit. And she got ejected from the car. I called 911 to pull up over there. And I told them she's walking, but she humming to herself. That lady was in shock. And I said, that lady was doing at least 100. So either I don't know what was going on with her. I thought she had like a suicide mission, but maybe somebody was chasing her. Maybe she was going through something. Maybe that lady probably had a heart attack or a seizure or something or a stroke. I don't know. But if she had, I don't think she had, I don't know, yo. I don't think she had a heart attack because I think she would have been in a much worse predicament. I don't think she had a seizure or stroke because I think she would have been in a much worse predicament and wouldn't been able to get up and walk around like that. She was walking around humming to herself. She had blood all on her hair because she had a bunch of glass. She had blood on her face because she had a bunch of glass in her hair and she had cut her scalp at some point in time. Get ejected from the car. All I saw was two cars in the air. I heard a loud bang and saw two cars in the air. I didn't even see her fly across MLK like that. I was just minding my business, but I heard a loud bang and looked over and I saw just two cars in the air. And then I busted a U-turn. I went in the left lane, busted a U-turn on MLK, made a right turn inside of the auto parts store. And it's the auto parts store that was right across the street from the 7-Eleven. And I pulled up over there, and it was this light-skinned lady with curly hair out there. She was in shock, yo. I recorded that video. And I never uploaded it on social media, but somebody hacked it to my Google account and then, sabotaged me in some type of way. I left my cell phone in my cousin Peach's van when I came back to my cousin DJ funeral, my cousin Donnie Smith funeral in October 2017. And I thought I lost it. So I told my cousin Peaches to just look for it. The next day I went to the Sprint store and got me the Galaxy Note 5. You know what I'm saying? And then the next day after that, she told me that she found it. But I didn't even have sex that whole stay when I came back to Detroit in October 2017. That whole stay, I didn't have sex. So matter of fact, hold on, because it was this girl that I had sex with on Warren. And I'm trying to figure out if this was February 2017 or October 2017. It was this slim, dark skinned chick. She was kind of curvy. I met her on West Chicago in Greenfield at the liquor store. And she kept saying stuff like, I got 4 kids, baby, you gonna be my baby daddy and all of this other stuff. I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was having sex with her, but I'm like, no. And I didn't even go lie though. I found out that girl's on her period, yo. When I got done having sex with her, either she came on her period or she was on her period when I started. But I saw like a little blood on the condom when I got done having sex with her. And I'm trying to remember the exact day this was, yo. It was cold outside. I think this was October 2017, I want to say. We had sex on Warren and what's that street that's right after Greenfield going toward Southfield Freeway? We parked on some side street and then had sex in her car. I think she drove a truck or something. And I ain't even gonna lie, I did it wrong. When I got done having sex with her, I just pulled off. I just got out of the car and pulled off. And I remember I hung out with Tease before I went to her place. I hung out with Tease first. I'm trying to remember, yo. I want to say this was October 2017. Cause Tease had a house over there on 8 Mile in Greenfield, I think, or something like that. He was living with his girl India at the time, or his ex-girl or baby mama. He was living with India. And I remember pulling up on him. He had a house over there. Whole point I'm making is I think that cell phone that I left at my cousin Peach's house, I think that cell phone got hacked and then they took the pictures and the videos that I had in that phone and gave it to somebody else and then framed me and made it look like that I was talking to somebody that I wasn't talking to, yo. But October 2017, when I came back from my cousin Donnie Smith funeral, I was around Teray, I was around JR. I went to this Halloween party that man had now his wife had she had a twin sister. I hung out over there for a minute with JR and them. I left from over there. I was supposed to meet up with this one girl. It was her birthday on this exact same day. I met her at Fairlane Mall earlier that day. She told me to pull up at some house on the east side somewhere, but I never did it, yo. I never pulled up over there. Then the next day I was trying to fuck with her, but I never fucked. Then I missed my flight, and I stayed at my brother's apartment for a couple days. And I had one of Teray called us some homeboys of his to drop me off at the airport a couple days later. You know what I'm saying? It was these two niggas that be rapping and shit. I'm still trying to remember this one dark skinned girl, yo. Like I'm trying to remember the exact time that was when I had sex with her. It was either February 2017 or October 2017. Because I want to make sure I'm clearing the shit up now so I don't come off as a liar because it's a bunch of people fucking against me. I know it's cold outside. I think this was October because when me and my sister came to visit my dad in February 2017, I don't think I rented a car. Yeah, I did. I did both times. I rented a car in February 2017 and then October 2017. I'm gonna just be honest. I think my cousin Peaches took that cell phone and gave it to somebody, yo, and basically synchronized all the videos and the stuff that I had in it and gave it to somebody, yo. I just that's just what I believe. They never told me shit, but I just think that's what happened. Cause they told me that they couldn't find that phone, they couldn't retrieve it. I was in Peaches' van right after the funeral, smoking weed with JJ and Peaches. My cousin James, I ain't never in my life called that nigga James. JJ and Peaches, yo. And right when I got done smoking, I got out the van, and then my sister said she ready to go because her flight did something janky, and she ended up having to leave earlier. So me and my sister ended up leaving, and they told me that they didn't find that cell phone. Then my sister got on the flight. Then the next day they told me that they didn't find that cell phone. Then the next day after that, they told me that they found it. And my dad, that was right around the time my dad gave me this breast cancer awareness hoodie that he got from Chrysler. From Sterling Heights, you know what I'm saying? And it says Sterling Stamping from the Sterling Stamping building, and it says stamping out breast cancer or something like that. He told me he got it from some Sterling Heights. He said that was like another name for Chrysler, Sterling Stamping or something like that. But I'm like, Chrysler never came up. I'm like, what did I gotta Google that. Sterling Stamping. I remember he told me that he got that from like a Sterling Heights place. Someplace he got it from Chrysler. He told me he got that gray and pink hoodie from Chrysler. It was a breast cancer awareness hoodie. He told me he got it from his job. He gave me and my sister one of them hoodies. But if I find out that that hoodie didn't come from Chrysler or something like that, Sterling Stamping. He told me it came from Chrysler. He told me like that was they used to call Chrysler Sterling Stamping or something like that. My dad told me that. This is all October 2017. I'm still trying to figure out this dark skinned chick, this slim dark skinned chick that I had sex with in Detroit. I'm trying to figure out. I think this was in damn dog. I really can't put my finger on it. Nobody had access to my shit though. And I also remember getting this lady number on School Crap, and I was on the phone with Tees when this happened. I was riding down School Crap going towards Southfield, and it was this light skinned lady walking down the street. And I'm like, Tees, this girl bad, yo, this light skinned chick. And then he even told me he feel like someone right about it. I hit that nigga up like 2 minutes later, like, dog, that was a nigga, yo. He was like, I already knew someone right. He was like a bad bitch walking down School Crap, a grown ass woman. He was like, I knew something didn't sound right about that. It was another lady that I pulled up on also. This dark skinned chick. She also stayed off of Schoolcraft. This is in October 2017. I didn't have sex with her, but I was trying to, but she wasn't having it. Um, she was an older lady. I did cuss her out though. I don't even fucking remember what her. I don't even remember her name or nothing, yo. The whole point I'm making about all this is once people realized that my phone had a hack on it, had a block on it, they took advantage of that. They said we go shit on this nigga. We go ruin this nigga because he don't know that we know that there's some type of lock on his all of his accounts. So somebody that's in the brotherhood has reached out to some type of fucked up ass judicial side of the system, and they maintained to basically block my phone away on purpose. And then they reached out to other people and they said, "Hey, that man is gonna put up a video on YouTube. We go watch his shit. His shit is gonna register as 0 views, and we go insult that man intelligence right in his fucking face and tell him that we don't know what the fuck he talking about. When we see everybody acting fucked up toward him everywhere he go, just line that nigga face." The only way something like that can happen is if it's somebody with a lot of power said, "Man, do not help that guy out. Fuck his life up." So my outlook is not just completely different on the police. My outlook is completely different on this whole world, yo. The way things go in this world is it's all about who you know. It's all about like people that's in fraternities and brotherhoods and shit like that. I had the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. It was a gold uh Galaxy. It was a gold phone. That was the phone that I had that I lost in my cousin Peach's van, yo. And then when I lost it, I went and got the Galaxy Note 5 from the cell phone store that was on Telegraph at 12 Mile. This is in 2017. And then a couple of days later, my cousin Peaches said it surfaced. She retrieved it. She found it under her stuff in that van. And I came back to get it. But by that time, I already had the Galaxy Note 5. So I think that phone was stolen. I think that phone was hacked. I think that phone was somebody gave my pictures and videos away to some faggot ass nigga. And I think they framed me and made me look like that I was talking to some punk ass faggot ass nigga. And then probably started some bullshit ass lying ass story up on cryptocurrency, some cryptocurrency website, and then basically went behind my back and accumulated a certain amount of money. What made me come to the conclusion that a lot of people just chose to be fucked up was when I started reaching out to everybody for help, talking about my mom and my sisters don't look the same, and people shut the fuck up and didn't help, didn't do shit. At that moment, that told me that there's certain people in my family that's willing to sacrifice my own family just to maintain a lie. I'm about to Google Sterling Stamping because my dad gave me that gray and pink hoodie, and he told me that he got it from Chrysler. And he told me Sterling Stamping is another name for Chrysler because my dad worked at the Chrysler plant. He retired from that plant on 15 Mile in Van Dyke, I believe. That's where he worked at. When I was 19 years old, I used to work at this plant called Century Plastics. It was in Shelby Township on 23 Mile in Van Dyke. I used to drop my dad off at nighttime and then go work the night shift. I was working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. and my dad's shift was I think it was from like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. or something like that. So I'm about to look that shit up right now. Type in Sterling Stamping, yo. I'll be in shock if I fuck around and find out that I got framed in some type of crazy way. But I covered up everything else I wanted to speak on. I'm still trying to remember when I had sex with that girl. I met her on West Chicago at Greenfield, yo. And I met her at the liquor store. And I was driving a rental car. And she told me she could meet up with me later on, and me and her had sex, yo. We had sex in her car. Then I drove off after that. Dark skin, curvy, slim, short chick, you know what I'm saying? Um, so I'm about to upload this show. This dude named Blake once told me, I once told this dude named Blake, they used to cut my hair back in the day. You supposed to see no evil, hear no evil. What is it? See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. And I basically told him that because I told him getting all off into that secret society shit is too confusing. You trying to figure out everything that's going on, that ain't gonna help, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna only confuse you. And when I told him you're supposed to see no evil, speak no evil, you know what I'm saying? Hear no evil. He was like, "Who told you that? Who told you that?" And he gave me a Bible scripture. I don't remember the name of it, but he basically was saying it's healthy to know who off into this type of shit, because when you know, they can't run that kind of bullshit on you. Because for a long time, it's a lot of people. I'm sure there's a lot of different fraternities and brotherhoods. They probably mean good, but it's a lot of people that fuck with devil worship also. And I realized the main people that mess with devil worship is the ones that's trying to make it look like I'm some devil worshiper, and they also trying to make it look like my family in the devil worship. So that message that I sent my cousin William Leatherwood on August 9, 2022, I said sorry for all of that. My apologies and all of that. I cleared all of that up. You feel me? But other people took that, and they also took a whole lot of other videos that I made, and they tried to make it look like my whole family just come from a long strain of devil worshippers. They try to make us look like that, yo. And they try to make me like the number one person. But the main people that's trying to frame me and sabotage me, those the main ones that fuck with that devil worship, yo. That's real shit. Come on, man. Who in their right state of mind would have a gay man tell a bold-faced lie on a man, and then have a gay man actually walking around in the church lying on a man, yo? People faith get um people faith get real confused and tangled up when they see somebody get cloned or something like that. Cause they feel like if somebody can get cloned, then you know what I'm saying, they look at it like, yo, so what's like, is that person's spirit still in them? Is their memory still there? Something about them is going to be different. Something about them is going to be off. I feel like the only way that their spirit still will be in them is if God approved that. That's the only way. And that's between them and God. So I just choose not to basically disrespect anybody or do anybody wrong, do anybody dirty. That's just the way I see. That's just my way of life. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what God doing, but God exists. So you got some people who actually like try to clone people, kidnap them or enslave them or take their life and kill them, and then they'll try to use somebody that they clone to basically frame and sabotage somebody else, to try to make it look like, okay, this person over here is a fucked up person because he got his family over here basically saying he ain't shit, this and that, but don't nobody know that that person been cloned. And when I start talking about that shit, a lot of people is gonna basically walk away from me, and they ain't gonna want to hear that because they're gonna say I'm saying too much. They're gonna say I'm doing too much. And the reason why they're gonna say I'm saying too much and I'm doing too much is because that cloning type of shit is above the courtrooms. So I can speak about somebody who been cloned. Somebody can go to court, you feel me? And I I would have to actually be able to prove that in the courtroom. How do you prove something like that? That we got scientists in this world that's so fucking smart that they can clone somebody. Or we got people in this world that's so rich and smart that can happen. And the people that know about it, they're not gonna tell on nobody. They ain't gonna say shit. They're gonna keep that a secret. So a lot of people been attacking me and my family, and then they trying to use certain family members against me, yo. That's why I've been praying that my family remains safe, healthy, and alive. No disrespect to the ones who possibly been cloned, but I'm talking about my mom and my sisters not looking the same. I just beg God to keep them safe, healthy, alive, protected from evil and danger, and delivered from evil and danger, because I see what's really going on, yo. That's why I'm so much of a target. That's why a lot of people don't like me, because they feel like, nigga, you know too much. And the main people that they have used to attack me been the same people that look just like me. You know what I'm saying? Black people. Because that's easier. It's easier to do that shit. Way easier. So that mess with a lot of people's faith, and people don't believe in God when that kind of stuff happens. But God sees everything. God sees what everybody doing. So whoever it is that's walking around with his chin up and his chest out, acting like he a prophet for God, acting like he a part of 144,000 Israelites, it's a whole bunch of people backing that man up that's in some type of fucked up ass agreement with him. And it's a whole bunch of people pushing for that man and promoting his man image to look like some prophet, yo. And all of them is in the devil worship, most likely. All of them probably did something to maintain a secret amongst each other. Some of the men probably killed somebody or had sex with men or had sex with some lady to maintain the secret. They did something sinful to maintain that secret amongst each other. So the first thing they do when I go to another state or a city or anything like that is fuck my image up to other people. Because the main people that's powerful is the public. You know what I'm saying? That's what they use. They use the public as a weapon against me. So they get everybody in the public, in the neighborhoods, politically brainwashed to believe I'm a fucked up ass person. And then they'll have somebody else infiltrating that neighborhood all day, every day. Regular old civilians jogging down the street. People riding on their scooters down the street, acting like regular old people. But they got a cell phone that's connected to somebody that's in the gang. They got a cell phone that's connected to somebody in the brotherhood. And they jotting down footnotes and giving all that information to them. So it's best for me to acknowledge who I am now, because my biggest problem was I wasn't acknowledging being a part of the 144,000 Israelites earlier. And by me not doing that, by me not being proud of who I was way, way, way earlier, it made a whole lot more people come for me, yo, in the worst way. And I mean the worst way, and it's still happening. So it's a lot of people that come to the conclusion that, oh shit, we got the wrong guy. We got the wrong guy. Then when they find out they got the wrong guy, whoever this other nigga is that's making up lies about me, whoever this fuck nigga is that's making up lies about me or possibly attacking my family in some type of way, when everybody find out that this nigga's a fraudulent ass nigga, don't nobody do shit. They just sit back and watch. Cause that nigga it's some nigga in the gang probably that's making up a lie about me, saying that he a prophet. What you gonna do when God give you a specific instruction and God give me a specific instruction? God might tell you to stop what you're doing again, and then God will give me a specific instruction and just tell me to stay where I'm at. What you gonna do then? I'm having specific dreams and visions and stuff like that. You just walking around puffed up off of pride and some fake ass popularity. Whoever this person is, it's some nigga out here trying to steal my story and act like he's a part of the 144,000 Israelites. And there's way more niggas out here that's walking around acting like that I did the shit that they did back in the day, breaking their houses back in the day. I said I never in my life physically assaulted a female. I mean that shit, yo. That's the truth. How many niggas done slapped some lady up and then walking around trying to act like that they was that guy? Bitches walking around looking at niggas with googly eyes, thinking that that man is the most superior, heroic guy she ever seen in her life, and she don't even know that this nigga jot down a whole bunch of footnotes in his motherfucking cell phone about how he gonna tell a lie the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, all that shit. They trying to plot and plan on me right now and frame me right now. So when I moved to Cali, a lot of people was looking at me like I was fucking fool, yo. A lot of people was looking at me like, bet. There you go right there. They was already talking to witches and warlocks like, hey, what's the process? What we got to do to fuck his life up? What I got to do to make my son or my nephew or my grandson look like he a prophet? What I got to do to make myself look like I'm a prophet? What I got to do to make my baby daddy look like a prophet? What I got to do to make my husband or my boyfriend or ex-boyfriend look like a prophet? This is what a lot of ladies were saying. A lot of men were saying, what I got to do to make my nephew look like he the prophet? What I got to do to make my son or my grandson look like he the prophet? What I got to do to make my godson look like he the prophet? What I got to do? I got framed, I got lied on, my family got attacked, and then people try to make it look like it was my fault. And everybody that I reached out to for help has not helped, because possibly some of them already been cloned. So this is a rich hand that's trying to keep me in bondage. But from afar, it just look like it's a community hand. It's somebody that's just in a community saying, oh yeah, that guy right there is a problem. It's 9:39 p.m. I'm gonna find out everything too. It's 9:39 p.m. November 30th, 2025. And what I don't understand more than anything else is when I start reaching out to family members and telling them, look, something not right about our family, help, help. That's what got me in shock. That's what got me in shock. I had a dream one time, dog, that like my cousin Shamar was running with this puppy, and I was like, Shamar, put that puppy back, put that puppy back. And the puppy was screaming and crying and stuff like that. He took it from like, it was a group of other puppies out there. He took it and took off running, and I couldn't understand that dream. And I was hoping to God that it didn't mean that my cousin Shamar reeled my sister out of Cali and then made up some lie and got something messed up happen to her and got her clone. See, the visions that I've had from God, it's not like that show That's So Raven. Like I just in mid like fucking day watching TV and have a vision. No, when I'm asleep, God talked to me with specific dreams, certain dreams and stuff like that. I had a dream about I ain't gonna lie, I had a dream about Jada Chiefs the other day. Like the day before yesterday. I had a dream about Mariah the Scientist. I'm still trying to understand that. I had this one girl up earlier this morning told her I just had a dream about her. Everything that I have a dream about, it don't probably process, but I've had dreams about Sis. I had dreams about Lotto's sister, Brooklyn. And this is no disrespect to any of them. I've just had certain dreams that I spoke on in the past. Trying to understand stuff and put stuff together. But my shit got a lock on it. I'm gonna get off this phone, yo. And I'm gonna find out everything because I'm just not going out like that. And I'm not about to let my family go out like that, especially if I got a family member that's somewhere. But ain't nobody telling me nothing, yo. I'm in shock that people that's a part of this brotherhood or this fraternity or this cult or this secret society or whatever it is. I'm surprised that nobody, and I mean nobody, came forth and actually like tried to help. I'm shocked, yo. And if somebody did help, I didn't get the fucking memo. I'm shocked by my dad, yo. I'm shocked by my dad and my cousins. I reached out to them, begging them dearly, like, man, forget all the negativity that we went through in the past. Forget all that dysfunctional stuff. Right now is way more important right now. I'm letting y'all know I'm part of the 144,000 Israelites, and I've had dreams and visions of my mom and my sisters asking me for help, mainly specifically in California. I think they in Cali somewhere. Help, yo. And I ain't getting no response. As a matter of fact, I think some of them messages that I sent out got screenshotted and then manipulated. Man, look, it's it's 9:43 p.m. November 30th, 2025. This AJ. I just wanted to speak on a lot of stuff that's been going on. So if it's somebody saying that they've been impregnated by me in Florida, that's a lie. The only way that that's possible is if somebody took my sperm while I was completely sleeping unconscious. That's why I made reports about this show. So I'm going to just follow God direction and see what God is telling me, yo, because people take advantage of how patient and loving God is. You know what I'm saying? People do that. It's people who's attacked my whole family and they said, okay, this man by himself, we can attack him with everything we got because he by himself. We don't care about God wrath or whatever God go do in the future because he's by himself. We could just wait for whenever God feel like he want to get his punishment on, let God do that. But for right now, for the time being, we go attack this dude, this Alvin guy. So it's a lot of people that's in gangs that know about me, that know about my life, that know what's going on, and they still looking for something to be wrong. This is why people was digging up shit that happened 20 years ago. Come on, man, 20 years ago? It's people talking about shit that got stolen 20 years ago, and even 20 years ago wasn't me that stole it. That's common sense, yo. A bunch of cowards, yo. So I'm sorry to God for cussing and using God's name and cussing at the same time. Forgive me, God, please. In Jesus' name, amen. But I'm not going out like that, yo. I'm not letting nobody assault my intelligence like that. So I'm gonna know in due time everything, even though my phone being blocked away, because I know I came to the conclusion if everybody been seeing my video, vindication would have happened when I was still in fucking California. And I'm still planning on, I'm not even gonna say what my next move is, but this is how I know that my video is not being seen by everybody, because if 100 or some people see me put up a video about a peacock, then 100 or some people is gonna see all my other videos. So it's a whole bunch of people in a certain brotherhood that's just watching my shit, keeping my shit away from everybody else, keeping my shit away from seeing everybody else. My whole feed is hacked, it's fake. People think I'm doing this shit because I'm thinking everybody's seeing my shit. I'm doing this shit for evidence. Because I'm holding on to all my shit for the future. So when all of it do come out, people can see, look how much shit that I was doing. Look how long that I was talking. Look how long that I was trying to stretch this out and say what I've been going through. They're trying to brainwash me right now and make me believe that everybody's seeing my shit. They taking my shit, downloading it on Snapchat somewhere probably, and then trying to lie on my image and make it look like I'm on Snapchat probably. So I'm uploading all this shit on YouTube and I'm holding on to it and keeping screenshots because I know in the future, all this shit go get cleared up one day and they go remove that block and everybody go see just how long I've been talking. Because on some real shit, I would have been vindicated in 2023 if they removed that block away from my phone. When I talked to my Aunt Ethel about this one lady that was a attorney saying it's like the biggest cyber hacking case in the history of the U.S. When I told her that, all of a sudden that block got removed away from my phone in that one day. And my cousin Randy pulled up on me like, hey, what's going on, AJ? And that right there told me that it's something that they know that I don't know. I know my Aunt Ethel know. I believe my cousin Randy know. I believe my family in South Carolina know how my phone got this hack on it, this hold on it. And I reached out to my family, I said, there's something not right about my sister. My Aunt Grace told me, she was like, yeah, Alicia don't even call me AJ. I'm like, yo, I'm letting you know that I believe clones exist. I asked my dad if he believed it exists. He was like, nope. I'm like, see, man, it's the worst feeling ever, yo. It's the most fucked up, lonely feeling ever because you know what's going on and everybody is too scared to speak up. And you maintaining that silence out of fear is the main shit that keep getting other people hurt. Keep getting other people possibly harmed or murdered. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody can actually make somebody look like a lookalike, a clone or something, hack somebody's phone with voice recognition and face recognition and be talking like them, and you thinking you talking to your family, you're not. You talking to just the android that's hacked their voice and mimic their voice. They could do all kind of damage to you. It's 9:48 p.m., yo. November 30th, 2025. It's AJ, yo.